guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I'm doing a spring look, the first spring look of the year. As it's coming up to the spring equinox, I thought it'd be perfect time to do a video like this. So if you're interested, then please keep on watching. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the e.l.f. Hydro Grip Primer to prep and prime the skin. And I'm going for quite glowy, fresh skin, I think, for this look. So I'm thinking possibly no foundation. So I'm going to get in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filter. And I have mine in the shade 1. I'm going to use this as like my alternative to a foundation. I'm going to mainly focus it on the high points, but I'm going to add it for a little bit of coverage everywhere else. Place I will avoid putting it though is my chin, just because there are a few blemishes down there. I don't want to kind of emphasise them by adding something glowy down there. So I'll just go everywhere else, and then just using a buffing brush to buff that in. We're going to go in with the Kosas Revealer concealer. I have mine in N1, and we're going to use this just to now put any coverage where we need it. So for me it's going to be under my eyes slightly, redness around the nose, a few blemishes on the chin, and a bit of redness here. Actually, I'm just going to put a little bit on the cheeks to get some redness on the cheeks as well. So I'll go in with that, and then I'll see if I want any more in a bit. So I'm going to go back in with the buffing brush, and I'm going to stipple this in to begin with. And I'm purposely starting with the cheeks to let the under eyes and the chin kind of set a little bit, so they give me a bit extra coverage. I'm going to switch to my concealer brush now, and we're going to go ahead and blend out the eyes and stipple in the chin area. So you can see the centre of my face is definitely getting a bit of brightness and a bit of coverage, but everything else is still looking nice and glowy and fresh. Okay, and like I said, I'm going to stipple onto the chin to keep that coverage. Next we're going to go in with some blusher. I'm actually going to take the e.l.f. Putty Blusher in Bora Bora. I haven't used this for a while, but this is like a really nice kind of bubblegum pink, and I feel like it's very spring-like, so it would work nicely. Again, I'm going to use a buffing brush, and I'm going to pop this onto the high points of my cheeks, give a bit of a lifted look. Now I do want to set a little bit of my T-zone, and also because I haven't got the foundation as the extra coverage as well as the concealer, I'm going to add a bit of the powder mini to the chin. I'm going to use the Kosas Cloud Set because this will give me a little bit extra coverage as well. Setting brush. So I'm just going to take a little bit on the kind of cheek area just here. I want this to be glowy, but I kind of do want this bit to be a bit more set. I'm going to do my forehead. And then lastly, my chin. Now I wish I had my sponge actually for my chin. I kind of, it was getting a bit filthy, so I got rid of it. Because that would have given me just a little bit extra coverage. But you can see it's already done the trick. Just it has a bit more like colour and coverage, this powder bit. So like if you're just going in with concealer and not foundation, you just want that little bit extra coverage, the powder's going to help as well. And also of course set the T-zone. Zone set, everything's still glowing. I am going to add a bit of a powder highlighter as well because I think this is super pretty, it'd be nice for spring. So it's the Lily Lolo Illuminator in Rose. I'm using it on a setting brush again, and I'm just going to do a bit of a wash across the cheeks, nothing too heavy, but just a pretty pink highlight. I'll take a little bit down my nose. And that is the base portion done, so we're going to move on to eyes. I'm going to fill my brows up the way I always do, so with some brow gel and my Lily Lola brow pencil. I've still got this on the go at the moment. I'm hoping I can make it through March with this brow gel, but yeah, I'm just going to quickly fill them in the way I always fill them in. Okay, so onto the eyes, prepping and priming my Lily Lola eye primer. Okay, so for the eyes, I want to add a little pop of green, nothing too intense, but something quite light, very spring-like. I'm going to use the Colour Trip palette by Cash Beauty for today. And I'm going to take the shade Days to begin with, which isn't a particularly minty or light green, but I'm going to play with it to kind of create that colour. So I'm just going to tap into Dazed. I'm going to use a fluffy brush. I'm not going to tap too much into there. I'm going to start buffing this onto the outer portion. So I've only picked up a little bit because I kind of more want to wash, because I'm going to work with it to create a slightly lighter version of it. So I just want to get a bit of colour down first. Relatively wearable, colourful look. I'm going to leave that there for now, do the other eye. Oh, probably picked up a bit too much on this side. Now I'm going to go in with Gleam, which is the white. Same fluffy brush. I'm going to go on top of that, and what that's going to do is just make it slightly lighter green, but also slightly change the shade of it. So it's going to make it more of a, what I would call a spring green. It's going to make it a bit more blue toned, obviously a bit lighter, a bit more pastel. So I'm going to keep working. And obviously you don't want to go too much, but just enough to kind of start making it look like a pastel colour. I'm going to take some powder, fluffy brush again, and I'm just going to do this through the crease. Well, not through the crease, sorry, and kind of above my brow, or in the brow bone area. Because I just want to bring it down slightly. I don't want that green too far up. So this is going to help just erase it slightly. We are going to go back in with Gleam, but on a flat brush this time. And we're going to focus this on the inner portion. And it's going to really help brighten this inner portion. And bring it just above the crease, because then that'll help open up the eyes and make that a bit more like a wide and awake almost look. Going back with the fluffy brush, just make sure it's all merged together nicely. So it's gone from a kind of darkish green to a bit more pastel, a bit more of a blue, which I feel is very spring-like. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to tidy up under here slightly. And then the final step I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of Hypnotic, which is a beautiful green shimmer. And it's almost got, it gives quite a wet finish because it's almost got a clear base and it's just the shimmer that's green. I'm actually going to pop this. I'm going to pop a very little tiny amount of this in the inner corner. Just to add a little shimmer there, because I think it'd be very pretty. Okay, then I'm going to load up my lashes with the Kiko Extra Sculpt Mascara. Okay, so something like this. So like I said, it is a popper colour, but I wanted to make it as wearable as possible, and I think this would be really wearable. If you wanted to make it what I would consider a bit more wearable, maybe adding a brown liner or a brown wing to add a bit of a neutral colour in there would look really pretty, but I like how this looks as it is, and it's just such a nice way. And it's kind of, if you've got white in an eyeshadow palette, it's a really easy way of making kind of any colour a bit more pastel-like and a bit more spring of a tone of a colour, which I think is really fun. So yeah, and this white's nice because it's not super white where it's going to overtake the other shade. It's like a translucent white, so you can really build and create like a brightening effect, which I like. So yeah, that is the eyes done. So final step is just lips, and I think it has to be a nice pinky tone lip because that very much screams spring. Go in with Lily Lolo's True Pink, but I'm not going to go super heavy with this because it's quite a bright pink. So I'm going to line my lips. Do you know what I wish I had in my lipstick collection? Not that I don't have enough, but like a pearlescent lipstick, like a pearlescent pink would be super pretty. Because I've got like glosses, I've got a few matte lipsticks, some satins, but I feel like I haven't really got anything pearlescent. Probably the closest is this one. This is Lily Lolo again. This is in the All Together. It's kind of, it's got, is it this one or is it Without a Stitch is the one I'm thinking of actually. So that one's Without a Stitch. So that's got the shimmer metallic, that's just glossy. I'm thinking we're going to go this one, so this is the In the All Together. And then naturally, to finish off, Whisper lip gloss. Just add a bit more of a baby pink to it. Okay, and that is this look complete. So I think a really pretty springtime look. Like I said, I've tried to make it a bit more wearable, but if you want it even more wearable, like I said, I think a brown liner would look really nice with this. But yeah, something soft, something a bit more just a pastel. Only using a few shades as well, so not a super complicated look either. Nice fresh skin. Obviously I didn't use foundation, I just used concealer and the e.l.f. Halo Glow. And of course a very spring pink lip. I think my next video will be like my top 5 spring lipsticks in my collection that I'm going to be wearing a lot of in the spring season. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this look. Please let me know what other springtime looks you'd like to see, what kind of colours you'd like to see. Obviously you got your pinks, you got more of your blues. I know this is kind of a greeny blue, but a bit more of the blue side, like the baby blue. Maybe pop a yellow in there, pop a purple. Obviously I'll do like neutral looks as well, kind of try and do balance, but let me know what you'd like to see. But I really hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in my next video, and thank you.